Okay, so you guys probably know what Fender Jazzmaster is. So you've probably seen a Fender Jaguar. Well, somewhere along the line they were like, alright, yo, those are great, but let's put them together. And they gave you the Squier Jagmaster. Okay, bear with me. What if someone was like, yo, the Fender Jaguar is great, but you know what we need? A Fender Jaguar bass. Okay, cool. Fender Jaguar bass? Hey, let's make a Fender Jaguar bass that has 6 strings. What do you think of that? This right here, this is the Squier Bass VI. It's something, that's for sure. We got the Jag, we got the Jazzmaster, we got the Jazz Bass. You know, all the Mustangs, all the Music Masters, Duo Sonics, all that stuff. And somewhere along the line, making basses and guitars, Fender decided, let's try both. So they took a bunch of leftover Jag parts, I assume, from their parts bin or something, and made whatever the heck this thing is. It has 3 single coil Jag pickups. The original Bass 6 had much different pickups. They were more stratty, and they had these interesting single coil pickup rings around it, and I think it only had 3 switches. This one has 4. 3 to turn on each pickup, and 1 is called the strangle switch, which cuts the bass out of the mix, which just leaves you with this big muddy instrument. So I have personally not found much of a use for that. Distortion, if you're insane enough to want to put distortion on this thing, it sounds better when you cut out the bass. And that's the only use I've found for that thing. So anyway, Bass 6 did well, okay in the 60s, 70s, didn't really sell the best. People used them mostly in studio, not many people used it live. And then we get into the 80s and 90s, the good old times when everyone was wearing black and had friggin' sea urchin hair and stuff. Good old Robert Smith found one of these and realized it made some spooky noises, and then people were like, whoa, what the hell is this big ass guitar thing he's playing going on? So then Fender released a few limited of these in the 90s. Then through the 2000s we got some custom shops. I think Japan released a few of these at the time, but for the most part these things were just not really well cared for or anything. I didn't even know about these actually. Because as you can see over here, I have some gear. You know, I like playing. I'm a dork and I watch rig rundowns all the time, and I saw one Kurt Vile and the Violators. And when the one guitarist was going over all his gear, I saw in the back on his guitar rack he had this really weird Jazzmaster thing that had a giant neck on it. And then he pulled it out and was like, this is the Bass 6, it's a 6-string bass, yada yada yada. So that's how I found out about it. So I doubt you guys will ever see this, but big shout out to Kurt Vile and the Violators for making me spend money I didn't have at the time on an instrument that I don't have a use for. Because I bought it to use as a bass. I have a P-bass thumb rest attached to it. And then I also have a friggin' Fender Jaguar string mute. But the thing about this thing is mine's not functional. It's just a plate that I screwed onto there. It doesn't have the mechanism to make it push up and down. So that is hardtailed in there. And it only served the purpose of having foam on there. And now it's just there for decoration. So isn't that great? Oh, and yeah, it's got, I put one sticker on there. I got that from a Thrasher magazine. Yeah, so that's my Squier. and now we're gonna go over it. I'm gonna demo it. Okay, so this is already going great for a demo of this thing. So one of the main selling points of this, especially back in the day, was it was a bass guitar with a tremolo on it. And on the Squier version, I think the Fender version had a locking tremolo. This one just has your typical Jag style trem, so it kind of just, it doesn't have any threading and it just pops in this hole, wiggles around. Well, anyway, because of that, it always just kind of falls out. And I was looking at the other day and getting in tune and setting up and everything for his video, and it fell out. I picked it up, put it on the counter so it wouldn't get lost, and I'd film with it the next day, right? Well, someone decided, hey, what's this metal arm thingy? And they just put it somewhere else. So I can't find the frickin' thing. I actually stopped this video, go look for it, because I didn't even realize it wasn't dangling around somehow. It's just gone. So yeah, no trem dem. Gives it just a really plucky, dry sound. Where if I use a thinner one, you know. So this is this is the neck. And then without the straggle. This is mid. You know, it's a bit more bassier sounding. And then let's go into the neck. So how I normally play is I have the neck and mid on. Like if you're just playing reggae or some slower songs, it's okay. But if you're, if you're trying to beat Dee Ramone on this thing, starts to get really muddy. Overall, like it is a nice bass, and for the price it was at the time, I think it's gone up a bit. But it was like $5.99 when I got this one back in, it was like 2015, 2016-ish. You know, this useless thing here, but hey, at least it makes it, at least it's shiny, you know, it looks cool. It looks cool, I guess, right? Right? This is going nowhere fast. Yeah, fuck. Alright, yeah, subscribe or I eat a rat.